Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with my Palmetto State Beretta Cheetah 84 BB. I thought my chances of getting these as military and police surplus was long gone. And when I went to the Palmetto State Armory website, I was pleasantly surprised to see that they were selling these in very good condition for $299.99. By the time I paid all the fees, including FFL fee, I was into this for $350. So when you get the gun, they are not CNR eligible. You get a Palmetto State sticker, you get a piece of foam, you get a Palmetto State lock, and then you get your 84 BB and one 13+1 magazine. Now, I've done a review on one of the Berettas already, but I was super excited to show you kind of what you get with this particular gun. So again, Beretta, the overall specs, you're gonna have 13+1 in the magazine. The overall length is 6.88 inches. The barrel length is 3.81 inches. The width is 1.39 inches. The height is 4.83 inches. And the weight with its magazine is 23 ounces. This is an aluminum frame, steel slide, steel barrel, direct blowback 380 ACP pistol made by Beretta. And these were very, very popular in the military and in the police. Now, the 84 BB is going to have a ambidextrous safety, but it will not have a decocker. So the fact that it's a double action, single action is cool. One of the problems that you're going to have is how do you lower this hammer safely? I would not, I got big old fat fingers and I would not try to lower that myself. I would probably just run this cocked and locked. But if you just absolutely have to drop it, what you can do is stick your finger in the hammer, pull the trigger, and then that should drop to the half notch lock right there. And then you can run this as a double action, single action gun. These are great in the hands. They feel awesome in the hand. They're really, really comfortable. The slide serrations, you know, with this slide, it's pretty low to the gun. They're pretty good, but I mean, they are what they are. They are good enough. They do have a fixed front sight and a dovetailed rear sight, so you can adjust a little bit for windage, but elevation, you're just going to have to reckon this particular gun. I like the single action trigger pull on this. The reset is long, but not too bad. My particular gun was made in 1986. And for, you know, a gun that old, you know, it's got a really pretty good trigger. As far as shooting this gun goes, I ended up having 100% reliability as far as feeding and ejecting ammunition. I had one problem, and when I got this gun out of the box, I could tell that this was probably going to be a problem, is I think they replaced the recoil spring, and this has got to be the heaviest recoil spring that I have ever felt in a Beretta firearm. And I'm guessing they're trying to give you a heavy recoil spring because direct blowback in 380 is a stout round. I mean, you're going to feel the recoil, and I think they put a too heavy of a recoil spring in it. And the problem with that was this gun rarely locked open on the last round. So when I was playing with it at the store, just pull back the slide, it locks back the way it's supposed to. But when I was actually shooting it, it didn't do it all the time. It did it some of the time, but not all the time. So there's a couple options what you can do. You can just keep shooting the gun and hope that spring weakens over time, or you can go to Wolf and buy a spring. They're usually under 10 bucks to get it sent to your home. So not that big of a deal and not that hard to install for sure. As far as accuracy with the gun, actually the windage wasn't a problem at all. Everything was within the 9 ring, but you can see my first few rounds, I was aiming here at the bullseye and I was hitting up here. So when I started aiming down here, that's when I started getting them into the 10 ring. Now this is only at 7 yards. I wouldn't really consider this type of firearm to be a 25-yard gun anyway. So this is going to be fine for around 7 to 15 yards. I don't think we're going to have a problem with it. After I got through about 50 rounds or so, this is my target. I ended up getting 1, 2, 3 in the red and 2 in the 10. 5 out of 5. That's not bad. You know, if you look at it, you'll see that there is some holster wear here. You can see that this is not a chip, but you can see that just some of the finish is just completely gone from that section of the firearm. My grips are in really great shape. I love the big Beretta logos that it comes with, and I love the fact that 380 is a caliber that is found at every store that sells handgun ammunition. I love the fact that the mags are still being produced by Metgar, and they're really good magazines. It's really, really a great surplus firearm that will not be around for much longer. So if you're thinking about picking up a military or police surplus gun, this is a great option. Look at what Palmetto State rates their guns at, because this could have had a lot of rust on it and that would have been part of very good. And mine is in great shape. I'm not upset about this shape at all. It's a great firearm. I think that I did a really good job. I did really well on this, but check to see that, because remember, with these military surplus guns, you're not buying from Palmetto State. So if there's something wrong and you call Palmetto State, they're going to say that's not our problem. So be aware of what you could be getting when you purchase one of these, and understand that you're taking a degree of risk when you buy them. You're probably going to end up with something like I have and be really, really happy about it, but they do have that cover in what they said. So look at what all of the names for very good, fine, good, what all of that means, so you kind of understand. As far as disassembling this gun, they're pretty easy. They're not unlike a Beretta 92, so the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that the gun is unloaded. Then you put your finger on this button right here and then pull the disassembly lever forward. You can then take out the recoil spring. Now, I'll tell you, this recoil spring is in there, and it can spring out at you. It is, again, direct blowback, so there's no there's no pin you have to drop out the falling block. The rifling on mine is really pretty good. With a lot of these military and police surplus handguns, they didn't get used that often. They got carried a lot, so they'll have a lot of carry wear, but they don't actually get used a ton, so a lot of times the rifling's in pretty good shape. To reassemble it, you want to make sure that the barrel is seated in the slide, and then you put in the recoil spring. This is kind of the most difficult part, is there's not like a real defined place, so you just kind of have to feel it, and then there'll be that much of a gap in between the barrel and the recoil spring. And when you get it like this, there'll be this amount of a gap, which is fine. At that point, you push in with your thumb, and then as you're running the slide back, you put back in the disassembly lever, do a function check, and you're ready for some more pew. For me, I'm really happy that I spent the $350 to get this gun. I think it's going to be a good gun to shoot whenever I want to shoot 380. The sight picture's pretty good. It feels good in the hand. And I think this is a gun that's going to go up in value over time. So I think it's not a bad investment either. So I do want to thank you so much for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares, they're really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.